Hey Scorpios, and welcome to your January 2017 General Tarot Forecast. This is Sky, and I'm here to give you guys hopefully an amazing reading for your month ahead. So, as I was doing the photography for you guys reading, I do all 12 signs at once for taking the pictures, and then I put the audio that I record over that for the YouTube video, obviously. You and one other sign's video got, or picture, was blurry, and I don't know why. Like, I took a bunch of pictures, but they were all just really blurry, and they didn't turn out well, so I just took that as a sign that I was, that the messages coming forward for you needed just to be redone. So I reset everything up, and I did new spreads and new readings and everything. It's really interesting. I'll get into it later in the reading about some of the differences that came up. But wow, some really crazy energy coming forward for the Scorpios. Lots of fire energy, actually. Lots of ability to really change your circumstances if you want to. A lot of ability to push something into place, a lot of ability to really just be in charge of your own destiny, which is something that Scorpios really need right now. There's so much universal energy coming in. You've got the two major arcana cards, the Tower and Judgment, coming in, which can be kind of crazy together. We'll get into it, but there is, just as a prologue to your reading, Scorpios, you're going to have all of the ability in the world to manifest what you need. You're going to feel a lot of abundance and potentially some lack in January at the same time, which is going to be interesting. So let's get into this reading and let's see what's really coming forward. So the way I'm doing these readings, it's like we've got the 4 weeks. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4 weeks with your spread, and an extra card did come out for you guys. As you can see, if you've seen any of the other videos this month, it's just been the 8 cards, but the 6 of Swords actually jumped out as well, which was crazy to me. Because it really just says that some of these more difficult energies have every ability to be transcended, every ability to transition out of some of these more difficult stages. But without further ado, let's really jump into this. So in the first week, and coming from 2016 in general, kind of in the past, there's like a conflict, but at the same time, maybe this conflict hasn't actually been able to happen. Maybe for the last few months in 2016 Scorpio, like you've really had the opportunity to be conflict oriented, but you chose to be the bigger person, and you chose to not be so conflict oriented. You chose to not allow the conflict and everything to be a reality. Like, you really held back so that other people would be comfortable, so that the people around you, maybe a relationship went bad, maybe something went bad in the recent past over the last few months that you've really been trying to transcend. Having the 6 of Swords as kind of a general central energy for you guys, there was a difficult place that you were trying to get past. You had to really set your sails to moving out of it. It took a lot of restraint and a lot of just determination and will of character for you to move past this, to get out of the past, to really transcend your situation. And maybe the way that this is playing out with the 5 of Wands reversed is that you really had the opportunity a lot of times to let your anger come out, to let your kind of negative Mars and Pluto side of yourself show. You had a lot of opportunities to do that, but it looks like you were able to keep your cool, and you were able to not just bite other people's heads off and not throw your problems in other people's faces. And you're being rewarded for that, Scorpios. The new year is coming around. It's seeing a lot of changes. It's seeing a lot of change in direction. And the fact that the 5 of Wands, is reversed, and it is rooted down by the 8 of Wands, it's like there's an evolution happening. There's a evolution in your anger. You're kind of turning your anger into abundance. You've used your deeper emotions and maybe turned that into something that you now make money from, or you are being rewarded as well. As I said, the universe is now sending in some abundance. Maybe you're the business that you started or something is really seeing some new monetary gain. Maybe the people around you are really realizing the effort that you've put into different things in your life, and the universe is throwing things at you to help and to show that there is a reward for not lashing out and not being crazy, you know. Because there were things coming from, and I can see this in this entire reading, there were things coming from even like the beginning of 2016, middle of 2016, that didn't get to resolve. Like there was something so extremely unresolved for you Scorpios that it started this internal feeling of unrest, and like every single day, and like this difficulty sleeping, this difficulty waking up, this difficulty, like just this languid uneasiness inside you, Scorpio. And you had so many opportunities to like blame other people and to lash out at other people, and you really may have kept your cool, most of you, okay? For some Scorpios, you may have still lashed out a bit, and I think all may have done a little bit, but it's like you could have really made your negative emotions much more clear to, in fact, people that might not have deserved it, and you're being rewarded for keeping your cool. Like, watch in January, Scorpios, as so many problems that you have been scared of, so many anxieties, so many fears, watch as they kind of culminate and you get closure to those fears. Like you didn't get closure in what you wanted, Scorpio. Like you didn't get closure in the relationship field. You didn't get closure to a situation coming from 2016. So the universe is going to step in and it's going to give closure elsewhere. It's going to give closure to your fears, to your anxieties, to your health problems. And it's going to say, you know, it's on us. We're kind of resolving this for you since you can't get resolution from people that you deserve resolution from. You know, the universe is coming in and giving you a little bit of culmination and resolution to, you know, maybe things that like you started in the last few months, like businesses, jobs, projects that are really becoming much more successful than you could have ever envisioned. And, you know, it's making good money. And all of a sudden you're like, wow, I have so many things and I feel so rewarded. And so that's going to be a great energy that automatically starts coming forward in January, Scorpios, especially in the first week. And stepping into the second week, you have the Ace of Pentacles reversed, rooted down by the Ten of Wands. So yeah, money, financial gain, definitely possible. Don't let yourself, the only message that I can think of that is worrisome with the Ace of Pentacles reverse, like, do save some of this excess. Don't think that just because you're making so much right now that you always will. Like, you might make a lot of money and spend even more. Like, watch out for being too spendthrift and letting all your excess just kind of fall through your hands, you know? But regardless, all the aces for me, especially like the Ace of Pentacles and the Ace of Wands, those two for me are always somewhat positive, whereas Cups and Swords, if they get reversed, can be a little bit more negative. But there's definitely abundance, financial, monetary abundance coming in for you, Scorpio. And you've worked hard for it. That's rooted down by the Ten of Pentacles, which says to me that every single cent that you're earning in January, you have earned tenfold, okay? It's like some of the businesses that you might have started or projects, all of that kind of stuff might have taken a really long time to get off the ground, and you're finally seeing some return on investment for that, which is great. You might be getting a little bit discouraged by your work. You might feel like even though it's making good money, it's really tiring you out. You feel like there's so much on your plate. You would like to have more free time. It might be difficult to give energy to both your career and your relationship life. And you just kind of get a little bit frustrated in knowing that, or feeling like you can't have both, feeling like you can't have a successful career and a successful relationship. And I think that you can. I think that there's no kind of energy that to me that says that you can't, but Scorpio's always in their head about something. Even when circumstances are just really good, you know, the Scorpios tend to always find something wrong with a situation. Not all of you, but it is kind of the Scorpio condition to always be looking for, it's not necessarily just blatant pessimism either. It's like Scorpios will always live very stable lives for the most part because they are always looking for something that's wrong. They're always looking for a loose end to tie up. And that's valuable to some extent because, you know, you can kind of see a catastrophe or a disaster coming from a mile away, whereas other signs might really reap a lot more problems because they didn't have the same foresight that you did. However, in certain situations that don't really seem to have a distinct answer, doing that to yourself isn't going to help you. It's going to leave the energy mark that is designated that we see in the third week here, which is the Two of Swords reversed over the Tower. Okay, and a lot of these cards, this is where I want to talk about the previous picture that I had taken, which was all blurry and stuff. Actually, a lot of the same cards popped up. The Ten of Wands, the Eight of Wands, there was another Pentacle card, and Judgment, and the Six of Swords had all popped up in the other one. The only thing that changed, Scorpios, and this is so interesting to me, was this third slot, which was the Two of Cups over the Hierophant. And the Two of Cups is all about, just that extreme happiness, that soulmate connection, the easiness, and rooted down by the Hierophant, it would be something like just feeling like karma and the universe had come in and blessed you with an amazing relationship with somebody else. That was replaced with the Two of Swords reversed over the Tower reversed, which is just such a more difficult, catastrophic energy. So it's like something must have happened between the time that I did the photography, which was very early December, and the time that I'm actually filming the reading, which is 29th of December. That's the only thing to me that makes sense about it. Something must have happened collectively on the Scorpio energy level, where a little bit more difficult energy was introduced in through December. It was kind of unexpected. Again, maybe you guys were expecting to get some kind of closure to a situation in December, and you didn't. Like, you were really relying on it. Maybe even since like September, you were really relying on some situation to get closure, or some kind of situation to, I don't know, at least understand. The past comes up. I get feelings evoked of, unrequited love from the past that was supposed to be closed or something in December, and all of a sudden it seemed like that was going to happen in early December, which I think is why you had the Two of Cups, which represents like maybe with this closure that you were expecting, you could start anew and really seek out that new emotional energy. But since you never got the closure, you kind of shifted energy planes over into this Two of Swords, the Tower energy. And I said this in Leo's reading as well. It's kind of evoking a similar feeling for me. I think that some of you Scorpios should watch Leo's reading. I think it would be very helpful. I'm going to link it in the description box below, and I'm also going to put it in the card section. Do watch it, especially for you Scorpios with Leo placements, because I address a lot of stuff about dealing with not getting closure in that video. So do watch Leo's reading, Scorpio. Especially, I think the second half of it. It's a long reading. The second half of Leo's reading will be really helpful for you. Anyway, getting back on point. This lack of closure, it's caused such a shift in your energy, and I have to ask you guys, it's like, is closure really overrated? I did mention this in Leo's video as well. If you actually got to sit down with this person from your past who really put you through a difficult situation and just hear their side of the story, get some like objective, clear thoughts about their reasoning, and understand where they were coming from when they put you through this difficult scenario, would that really be that helpful? It's like Scorpio wants to know the honest truth in everything, regardless of how hurtful it is, regardless of how much toiling that makes their mind do. Like, Scorpios just want to see things for what they are. And that can sometimes not go against your best intents and best wishes, Scorpios. It's like the relationship is over, and I'll address also the Scorpios who are in happy relationships too, but it's like the relationship is over, it's been over, and at this point in time, do you need to know why? It's like, you know why on your end, and yes, it would be really nice, because I can relate with that, like this resonates for me, I can relate with wanting to know the other person's reasonings to something and wanting to get that closure. It feels like it would be a very healing process, but then my spiritual side comes through and seeing some of the cards in this reading, and it's like, it might not be quite as healing as you think. It might put you right back where you were. You might have to start thinking about how you felt. You're going to start thinking about the good times. You're going to start asking yourself why someone that you cared so much about and you thought was such a good person could put you through this, and you're going to try to start figuring out the answer to that. And that's when we find ourselves in the situation of the Tower, when our foundations are so shaken by some kind of mundane event that we start questioning, like, our reasoning for things in the past, things that we cannot change. And all of a sudden we're living a catastrophe, and we start like we start trying to change things that shouldn't be changed in the present to try to overcompensate for the changes that we didn't make in the past. And this is the energy of the Tower, Scorpios. And it will leave your life feeling like everything's falling apart, and then you're forced to pick up the pieces. That is the good side to the Tower, is it sees a lot of like house cleaning, like emotional house cleaning. There will be things from your past to come up to the surface that have not been meted out at all, and you kind of will be forced to meet them out. But there's a good side to that because it needs to happen. This lack of closure might really help you to clean up some of the other things and make you come to new conclusions. So there is a beauty to the Tower, but seeing as how like in the previous picture that I took for you guys, there was just such blessed, easy energy, and then all of a sudden it changed to this. I just think that you guys need to move on. You guys have got to move forward. You've just got to keep moving. Okay, that's a good word. Like, just keep moving, Scorpios. Don't let your head go all the way back to the past. Don't let your head get caught up in how great things were and the amazing path that you were on before this and that happened. And if you could just go back in time and change the way you acted then you would probably not have affected your path at all. And don't do that to yourselves, because you can't change it, okay? It happened. And on the complete other side of that, someone was not fair to you, Scorpios. Someone having the Six of Swords like this, sometimes I like to think about the Six of Swords in a way that's like, allowing someone else to dictate where we're going, allowing someone else to kind of drive our boat, to put it in a way that agrees with the picture. And this person that was in your past from before, Scorpio, their energy level is not in a good place, okay? Their energy level, for them to have such a crazy impact on you like this, such a level-headed zodiac sign, such a sometimes apathetic zodiac sign, for you to still be feeling this all these months later, and for them not to give you closure when it would have been appropriate, like maybe a month after, or maybe like right when it ended, for them not to do that for you, what does that say about their character? And I don't want you guys to get upset at yourself about that, because it's like there was a change in this person too. There was a change in, like when you first got with this person or something, they were really on a good vibration. They were really wanting to evolve, and Scorpios get attracted to people who want to evolve. It's kind of like when someone gets on a path where they're transcending something or they're evolving from a really low place, the universe will usually throw a Scorpio into their life to test them. Like the universe, it's always a funny theory for me to think about because I've seen it so much. The universe will put a Scorpio in someone's life to test them and to see if they can really put in the work to evolve. And sometimes they can't, Scorpio. Sometimes they evolve even further down than they were before because they can't handle the Plutonian energy, Pluto is a lot, especially for the younger zodiac signs like the Aries through Libra. Zodiac signs can struggle when they get a Scorpio thrown onto their path in this way, or if they have any strong placements, and that would be Aries, Taurus, Gemini, Cancer, Leo, Virgo, or Libra. If they have any of those placements that are strong in their chart, sometimes having a really prominent Scorpio figure in their life when they are needing to rise from the ashes will be a struggle for them. But do know that karma is just as much in their life as it is in yours. You've got Judgment, which is Judgment and Justice, I always say, are the two karma cards, and you have Judgment, so that says that you are being held to the same standard as this person is, and you have a lot better intentions from what I can see, and a lot better wavelength than the other person did. So just let yourself be calmed and soothed that justice will be meted out, that we're all looked at under the same microscope from the universe. That's what Judgment is all about. Some Scorpios are very perplexed because they see this person, and this could be any of the Scorpios, even if it's not a love relationship. There's someone in your life that you don't feel like is getting what they deserve. Like you see these people who have hurt you so badly, like succeeding and being so happy. And for some Scorpios, there was like a really strong relationship that had a difficult breakup, and all of a sudden this other person is with somebody else, and it's just like destroying you as a person. The message is they will be looked at under the same microscope, under the same magnifying glass as you. Like if they're succeeding, don't think that they're not reaping karma. Like, and that's something that Scorpios need to watch out for, because we Scorpios do not decide other people's karmic fate. You know, we're often put on people's path to deliver karma, because that's just our connection to Pluto and Mars, but especially Pluto. But we are humans, and we don't decide what's fair for other people to go through, you know, and we don't. It's not our place to decide how other people's karma gets delivered to them. That's why you see Scorpios who are so vengeful, and we're kind of the face of revenge as a archetype, because we do get put in places to deliver karma to other people. And sometimes more lower evolved Scorpios think that it's their place, even if the universe doesn't just kind of naturally make it happen, and they become vengeful and really try to exact that. So don't have your mind on any of that kind of stuff, Scorpio, because you'll hear people say that during times when they were from the outside world viewed as very successful were some of the most difficult times of their life, and likewise when they were viewed by the outside world that some of the most difficult times were some of their most happy times. So don't let like outward appearances let you decide whether someone is like reaping karma. I don't know, that's just a random message that came forward for you guys. Okay, and then for my Scorpios who are in a relationship or who are married, something needs to be addressed in this relationship. Something needs to be like very fairly given a dialogue to. Like there's some kind of component to the relationship, and it's very obvious in the third week of January. And the third week of January is a good time to look it in the face, but also a time to be cautious. One thing you don't want to do is get too caught in your ego, Scorpio. Have a good idea about what kind of, what your actions would cause, you know, like if you know that if you have like a temper tantrum or something and that's going to cause some major like tension in the household, hold back. You've already done so well at it. There's no reason to lose that good momentum now. All right. And I think, and I had mentioned this to another sign as well, I don't remember which one it was, the best thing to do if you're having some kind of problems in a relationship is to like write it down, like get some paper out, like sit down with your thoughts and like really think about the status of the relationship, where it's at, healthy things, unhealthy things, write it all down, and have a very logical, non-biased, non-egoic way of communicating this to who you're with, because things of the ego, things of bias, they're not working out in your favor right now, Scorpio. And I will say there was something coming from the beginning of last year where Scorpios were really out of control with their ego, really using their power in potentially not the best of ways. So some of these difficult experiences were necessary, Scorpio, because they really helped you. And if you think really clearly about it, Scorpios, you can see how it did. You can see how you'll never put somebody through what you've been put through, and that's a blessing, okay? Because people will realize this about you. People will realize how fair you are and how good intentioned you are when you've gone through this. And especially like the other person, like I keep thinking of this because a lot of the Scorpios out there listening to this right now have been through a breakup, have been through something really difficult. Like the person on the other side of it is currently very surprised. There's some kind of element of shock or surprise. Like they did not expect you to hold your temper like this, to keep your cool. Like they knew what you could have done. They knew that you could have really made their life difficult. They knew that you could have exacted revenge on them. You had so much dirt on this person, but you kept your intentions high. You restrained yourself, and they're shocked, and that actually makes them uneasy, because they may have been trying to provoke you to be vengeful just so that they could say, you see, this is how you are, and this is why I have an excuse to treat you the way that I do. But you didn't do it, Scorpios, and now they don't have the excuse, but they already did the bad things that they did. So that's a major karmic thing that they're having to take on right now. That's a major and they have to face that every single night that they go to sleep, Scorpios, realizing how they threw you under the bus, expecting you to be vengeful so that they would have the excuse to, like, vindicate their bad actions, and they don't have that. You know, the majority of them do not have that. So they're trying to avoid you like the plague right now, and they're trying to avoid people around you like the plague because they know that they've been unfair, and they think that if they avoid you, that they can avoid sort of the repercussions. but they don't quite have the spiritual knowledge that Sky over here on Esoteric Healing does, and like my audience of Scorpios, that you can't hide from the choices you make, even if you can hide from the people who have those negative repercussions because of your choices. Karma, the universe, they always put things on our path where we have to own up to what we've done. You know that you've owned up to it, Scorpio. Don't think for a second that everyone else won't. And you're going to be seeing that in the 4th week, Scorpio. I kind of got off on a tangent there, but we're going from the 3rd week to the 4th week, where you have the 5 of Pentacles and Judgment. You're going to see or potentially hear about how things got real for everyone. You're going to see karma will be exacted in the 4th week. Whether you're a Scorpio who set your intentions high or low, if you set them high, you'll see yourself gaining a lot. If you set them low, which some of you have, some of the Scorpios have, and you guys know, the best thing you can do right now is make any amends that you can, or set your intentions high. It's easy. Scorpios know the difference between low and high intentions, so I'm not really going to take the time to spell that out for you guys, because there's something that feels very lacking in the 4th week, something that feels, and you might not know, you might just not be privy to this person that was really important to you, or you feel like you don't have all the information that you want. But it will be exacted in the 4th week, whether or not you hear about it. And I really think that the 5 of Pentacles, I don't think that's going to be a financial lack, although it could be for some. I think that this is going to feel more emotional, because we went from you Scorpios having that 2 of Cups energy in the Hierophant to having the 2 of Swords in the Tower. So you've potentially been faced with some difficult knowledge, knowing that the person that you were with is in a new relationship, knowing that they're getting married, something gross like that you may come into awareness of, and that just makes you really not understand what this life is about. If someone that you went through all that with and would do something like this, and you're just I see a lot of Scorpios feeling depressed and questioning the universe, and know that there is a reason for this, Scorpio. There was something about this on your path that you needed to go through so that you could help other people, so that you could do something greater with your life. Because if you would have stayed in this relationship from the past, again, this is for the Scorpios who went through the breakup, if you would have stayed where you were, I see nothing. I just see darkness. I'm very psychic, Scorpios. I'm very intuitive. I feel like you would have the universe, this is a great message for you Scorpios, the universe was more willing to see you go through this than to see you live a monotonous life of nothing, than to see you not accomplished, than to see you not helping other people. The universe would have rather seen you face this difficult energy than to have seen that. And that's just the Scorpio condition. You'll go through difficulties in your life, Scorpios. You'll go through hard things, but just on the other side of that, you will go through the most amazing, brightest, most lucky experiences, because it's a life of extremes, and Scorpio is the black and the white. For all this darkness, Scorpio, there's bound to be some kind of really bright, amazing light. Okay? And this reading for me is really encompassing a long period of time. These are specifically for January, and a lot of this is finishing. The universe is giving you closure, Scorpio. It might not be through the egoic way that you wanted it to be, but whether or not you get closure from a specific person, the universe is giving it to you. So it may come through in a different way. You may just detach from the feelings, and that's honestly for the best. Okay, but as I said, this message is spanning a lot of 2016, and it's propelling you into a lot of 2017. So we've got months and months worth of stuff here that we're kind of working through and getting an idea of. And just the fact that the 6 of Swords popped out, and it was in your last reading, that was crazy to me. That says to me that you're in the middle of transcending this. It's like you've made all these progress. You've made progress throughout the last 4 or 5 months, but you're not quite there yet, and you know this. It's like you still are attaching onto some of the pain and stuff, but you're your best friend and your worst enemy right now. I always think that with the 6 of Swords. Allow yourself to let the universe guide you for a little while. Don't be so worried, because time is on your side. You've got all the time in the world to figure some of this stuff out. There's this urgency within you. There's this I've got to come to the conclusion now. I need to get closure from this person right now. I need to hear from them right now, and I need to know. But time is on your side, Scorpio. It doesn't have to be so urgent. You know, the ball is already dropped for a lot of you guys. You already know that this person you were with is with another person. That ship has sailed. Okay, the ship has sailed. That's a good thing to say for the Scorpios right now. I'm going to write that down because I might title your video that. Not sure. But oh gosh, it's so heavy, Scorpios. It's so heavy, but it's beautiful too, because with all this heaviness, you just know that something good is coming. And I can say that with 100% security. In my time of seeing energies like this, you know, when I do readings like this for clients, they'll come back to me in a month or two and they'll say, oh my gosh, you were so right. I didn't believe you. I didn't believe that it could go uphill like this. I didn't believe that. I thought that I was in so much pain and that I could never get over it, but you were right. Like, someone came in and this situation was completely reversed for me, and I thank you. So I've had a lot of experiences like that with clients. So I can pretty much say with security that it will get better, Scorpios. So, you know, these thoughts that you've been having... Oh, dark thoughts, Scorpio. I see those dark thoughts of yours. Get your head out of that territory. No reason for it. Because you've got so much to give. You've got so much to give, and there would be no reason to do that. So, some Scorpios know exactly what I'm talking about. But, and again, I've focused a lot on the Scorpios who've gone through a breakup. Again, for the Scorpios in relationships, married Scorpios, you're being put where you need to be. You might feel like things are really bleak right now. You might feel like there are some things that are unsaid or some lies or something, but you will find out about them. Make sure that you have proof. There could be a tendency for all the Scorpios, not just the coupled Scorpios, to catastrophize situations, to like if one bad thing happens, or like, okay, here's the thing. If there has been lying, if lying has been a component of your relationship, like, Scorpios can be known for being a bit of conspiracy theorists, you know, like having a lot of really crazy thoughts because you see how things line up. So maybe you think that who you're with has been lying about a lot of things and your mind is kind of catastrophized what all that could be. And it's like you find out and get proof on one of the lies, and all of a sudden that makes you think that every other single thing that you've ever thought to be true is true. Beware of that mindset. Get proof for everything, Scorpios, because sometimes you can exaggerate bad scenarios. Sometimes you can catastrophize a situation and get a little bit paranoid. So get proof on any kind of cheating, any kind of lies before you accuse somebody of that. Don't accuse people of things that you don't know of for sure. So, but yeah, just karmic energy coming in for you guys. This could be, and I'll be so excited to see your February spread, Scorpio. This could be something like a foundation or kind of a cannon to shoot you into a much, much better vibration. Having the Six of Swords as your sort of center card like that says to me that you're in the process of like being shot out of a cannon with the tower right there. I think that's a good analogy for that. So just be excited for where you land in the next few months, Scorpio. It's going to be a lot better ground. I really hope this reading was great for you guys. If you haven't subscribed, I so appreciate it. Like and comment on this video with your own experience if you feel driven to do so. Also, you can check the description box below for Leo's reading, which I think would be very helpful for you guys who are dealing with betrayal, especially to watch. And you can also see where to book a private reading with me or email me about questions. Also, it should be coming up on this screen soon. You can watch your sun, moon, or rising sign and see the other videos. Likewise, you can click on the red and green icon to book a reading with me. I so appreciate you guys and your support, and I can't wait to see you guys in February. Have a great January. Bye, guys.